back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the Rongyi Cup. The Rongyi Cup Season 3 Playoffs, day number 3. I'm, of course, your host, VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and, of course, by my bunnies off to the side as well. Welcome, 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 and all. Bienvenidos, everyone, as we are here looking to conclude Rongyi Cup over the next couple of days. This has been a very long and very intense tournament with a group stage, with the playoffs, of course, as well. $21,000 USD prize pool, and we've had many players rise and even more fall, as we have 4 players left here in the Rongyi Cup. Let's catch up on the bracket. Let's go. Let us go. Bearing in mind that this is going to be a replay cast from matches that did occur a little bit ago, but bearing in mind the finals of this event has yet to conclude. Finals is actually tomorrow. So we're catching up on the semifinals today, so we can jump right on into the finals tomorrow. That's the goal. That is the plan. Bam! As you can see here before you, this is the bracket for the playoffs. Oh boy, so far we had herO. herO took down Showtime 3-1 to make it to the semifinals. Solar barely took down Classic 3-2. That was a very close, very clutch best of 5, and Solar was able to come out on top. We then had we then had Trigger, I should say. Trigger took down Clem, a big upset, not for the first time, by the way, but Trigger, he took down Clem once again, 3-2. Clem, being the best Terran player in the world, does fall in the hands of Trigger, so big upset, big result. Clem, I would have said, would have been favored to play or to make it to the finals, but not anymore. Meanwhile, we have Maru. Maru barely takes down Creator 3-2 and all the way to the ace match. I do recommend the VODs. We did cover the quarterfinals day 2 yesterday, and we covered it day 1 a little bit ago. We also covered all the group stage, so again, it's all on YouTube. The group stage, the playoffs, and again here we'll be covering the semi-finals. As I did just mention, the grand finals will not be played today. The grand finals will be played tomorrow in around like 36-ish. No, like in around 36-ish hours time. So again, just over a day and a half hours, a day and a half time is going to be the playoffs, is going to be the grand finals. It's going to be best of 7 between the top 2 players in this tournament. We will get there. But again, we will be covering that tomorrow. Of course, we'll be covering that live. We should be covering it live, fingers crossed. We were notified that it might be a little bit late, the event itself, just because from my understanding the event is hosting multiple different esports and multiple different titles, and StarCraft is scheduled after Overwatch, and it all depends on how long the Overwatch and the other esports events are going to be. So if they end early, then StarCraft starts early. If they end late, then StarCraft starts late. So kind of depends on how the other matches will go and how they do progress. For now, though, again, we're going to be focusing on our semifinals. We have 2 series here ready for you. It's going to be 2 best of 5s, herO versus Solar and Trigger versus Maru. Let's go. Let us go. Jumping into our first series, jumping into our PvZ, jumping into our best of 5. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. Let us begin the broadcast. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Otherwise, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you all had a great week. I think it was Valorant, but close enough. It's the same thing. It's Overwatch, Valorant, Deadlock, CSGO, what's the other one? Fortnite, Battle Royale. It's, you know, it's they all shoot each other. It's fine. It's spawning in the left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is a Solar. We go. Our series is upon us, so we are getting to the first game of this best of 5, and coming into this we are going to be leading towards herO here. He's the best Protoss player in the world for a reason. At the same time, Solar, he took down Classic. He took down Classic. He brought, went all the way to the ace match, was very close, was very clutch, but Solar was able to prove himself against Classic. If you can bring down Classic, then herO is within reach as well. But of course, herO is a very different kind of player. herO, he's a little bit more unorthodox, he's a little bit more unpredictable, and can be very in your face. That is a scary thing about herO, is that he can embrace a longer later game, or he can be in your face early on with early charge timings, early glaive adepts. We'll see as herO and Solar are setting up, and we can discuss the map and the matchup itself. So coming into this, welcome to the Old Republic. The Old Republic is a larger map of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. Typically, one of the biggest trials and tribulations of the Old Republic is just how indefendable the 4th base is. Whether it's this low ground 4th base or the linear 4th base, it is much more difficult to maintain, much more difficult to defend, and we have seen many successful 3 base all-in hit, strike, and break that 4th expansion. Even a 3rd base can be quite difficult as well, just because of how open and how wide the arc is once you get up the ramp in towards the 3rd. So we have seen quite a lot of mid-game aggression, I will say, from the side of Zerg players. At the same time, because of the size of the map, muta play is also viable, and we have seen mutas from Solar quite often in these series. I say quite often, I should say like once in a best of 5 is what we expect to see from Solar when it comes to muta play, whether it's game 1 or whether we do it on Winter Madness or White Rabbits or one of the other larger maps, yet to be determined. Meanwhile, from the side of herO, he has been adjusting his style. We've been talking about this quite often and quite frequently. If you watched herO during the Thunderfire event and in events after that as well, preceding that, then you will know that herO has been very fond of these early charge timings. That is how herO 3-0'd Serral. Again, he 3-0'd Serral with non-stop early charge timing. Serral, he was caught off guard time and time again. And since then, we've seen herO and Classic and other top Protoss players alike also rely upon and mix in charge-based follow-ups more and more often with a lot of success. So we'll see if that trend continues here. We'll see how he does open up. For now, Stargate opener into a 3rd base. Everything's looking normal, but the follow-up is what's important. Does he go +1 and blink or +1 and charge? Ooh, Void Ray first. Okay. Does open Void Ray. With this, he can hunt down the Overlord and slip into something a little bit different here. Now, we have been watching a lot of herO as of late, and something that herO did do in his grand finals against Solar. True, this is a rematch, by the way. Just realized. But herO versus Solar, that was last week in PvZ Cup. It was the grand finals of PvZ Cup. I say last week. Sorry, this week. This week in PvZ Cup, we had herO versus Solar, and herO twice in that series went Void Ray into Stargate, Fleet Beacon, Tempest Rush. He went into 2 Tempest Rush in that best of 5 against Solar with mixed results and mixed success. Could we see that here? We could. Not saying we will, but at least once in this series, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for another Tempest Rush. Otherwise, again, we can mix in +1 in blink, +1 in charge, glaive adepts. That's the scary thing about a Void Ray opener, is that you will be denying vision. You'll hunt down the Overlords and ensure that Solar doesn't know what's going on. Void Ray moves out. That's a fast forge. Oh, okay. It's a very fast forge. Interesting. So fast forge, fast +1. We should be waiting for a Twilight Council here. Just waiting for the minerals, waiting for the resources. Solar going for early Evo Chamber, early +1. Oh, okay. So Solar, he's going for a standard opener. I mean, he's going Evo Chamber, +1 melee into Ling Bane or into Ling Hydra. This should be the go-to. Meanwhile, herO with the early Forge means early +1, early +2. Does he go blink? Does he go charge? Yet to be determined. The Overlord doesn't come in for the scouts, and the Overlord will actually confirm. Yeah, this should not have happened. He does scout the early Forge, but the Void Ray should have hunted this down. And nice scout here by Solar. He's at least aware there's no Sky Toss, there's no Tempest Rush this time. Oh no, and the Void Ray is going to be thrown away. Oh my god, taking so much hull damage. Yeah, herO a little bit inattentive. We got to tighten up. And there it is, early charge. So as we mentioned before, there's a reason why we brought this up at the start of the series, but herO has been very fond of these early charge builds, and this is where I'm concerned for Solar. Why am I concerned? We saw +1 melee. +1 melee usually means the Solar wants to skip roaches. Now, thankfully, he does get a safety roach warren, and Solar, he did scout the early Forge. The early Forge is indicative that something is a little bit wrong. Like, something is wrong, something is amiss, like there's something often quirky about herO's build. So, Solar, he's at least getting a roach warren, but does he make any roaches? His initial plan is to go Ling Hydra or even Ling into Spire play. Hopefully he does invest into roaches. If not, then he's going to be vulnerable to that timing. So we'll see how Solar reacts. It's all about Solar's reaction. For now, he pokes in, gets us around. No shield battery. Yeah, the battery is late. Both adepts will go down. Gets 1, gets 2 adepts. Does force a cancel on the shield battery. Not bad. Even getting 2 probes. Does he get 3? Jesus. Yeah, the oracles are across the map. 5 probes going down. This is crazy damage here. This should not have happened. Meanwhile, here he gets across the map. He does try to make up for it, getting 4 drone kills. And behind this, there's that roach speed. So we are kind of investing into roaches, but there's a Spire on the way. Ooh, so if Solar banks resources and waits for the mutas and waits for the Spire, he may just die to the timing attack. He may just topple over. Lings, they poke in. They do scout the Archons, I believe. Archons have been scouted. But we have cannons on the way. herO taking a defensive stance. Does he have a robo? No. No robo. What does that mean? No War Prism, no reinforcers across the map. herO is not attacking. So because herO isn't attacking and he's going for a later +2 timing instead, that means, hey, we can get away with these mutas, we can get away with the Spire. Also, the Vindication, again, we did mention that Spire play was an option here on the Old Republic. My assumption, of course, is that we'd see this at least once in this series from Solar. We'll see if we do it again later on in this best of 5. But the Oracles, they come in for the scout, they confirm, yep, there's a revelation, Spire has been spotted. Oof. With that, Phoenix production has begun. Solar, he knows he's been spotted, he's making 8 mutas, and it should only be 8. So Solar has to make a choice here. Does he double down and go mass muta, or does he only make a harassing force? The problem is he's been scouted. He's making more mutas. Ooh. Like 8 mutas is enough to one-shot workers and to harass, but we have more mutas on the way. Investing into +1 flyer attack. And here is setting up. Cannons at the main, cannons at the natural. He is getting ready. He's building up his Archon High Templar count. Storm is done. And mutas are moving out. Does it catch the Oracle? More roaches are amassing. Solar, he is getting on the base. He's taking more gases, so he's just doubling down. He's making more mutas. He's going mass muta. Now, mutas, they're amazing when it comes to harassing. They're very mobile. They're very nimble. But they're also very fragile. They're very fragile. In a head-on fight, I cannot favor them. They do take down one of the Phoenixes. Phoenix and the Void Ray. Nice pickoffs. Just picking up a couple of key units. Solar, he does rotate around. Diving into the natural. Ooh, getting another Phoenix. At the same time, Ling Roche does hit the front lines, but alas, hero's in position. herO, he defends the natural, he defends his 4th. Oh, and he's starting to move out. The mutas are on the way. Ideally, they want to snipe the High Templar. They're coming in. Yeah, they're coming in for the Templar. Storm does zone. Whew. Very close. Storm zones away. You have Ling Roach slipping in from behind. herO, he's forced to turn around. Losing an Immortal. And massive pickoff. Immortal goes down. Now, in a head-on fight, herO wins. Like, herO, he will win in a head-on engagement. But you can see here, because of all these counterattacks, because of all these run-bys, ideally, Solar, he wants to create an opening so he can dive in and pick up those High Templar. Even here, sniping a Phoenix. Oh, the Archons do keep up. Here come the mutas. They're going for the Templar. Yeah, Storms, they try to zone away. We're spending a lot of Storms on the mutas. Jesus. There's what, 2 Storms left? 2 Storms remaining. Mutas, they're coming in. Up. Another Storm. 2 more. Yeah, the final Storms. No more Storms left, but the mutas are so softened up. You can see how brittle, how vulnerable they are. 1 Archon volley will be enough. So mutas are regenerating HP. We have now 5 Archons. And the mutas can never engage, to be honest. Like, they cannot engage with the main army. Instead, he has to go for the counterattack. He has to go for the base trade. herO's already here. Banning's decent connection on the Zealots. Decent. Bases are going down. And back at him, herO just has to build up his High Templars. His High Templars, Archons. And I feel like herO's got this. As we mentioned before, like, these mutas are amazing when it comes to harassing, but unfortunately they can never fight this main army. It's not gonna happen. Does catch 1, 2, almost 3 Phoenixes, not bad. But GG, yeah, GG gets called, and herO, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO takes the lead in the series, and Solar didn't play too badly at all. Solar, he was doing what he could with what he had. He was going for run-bys, counterattacks. As we mentioned, he was trying to pull apart the attention and pull apart the army of herO so he could find an opening for his mutas. Unfortunately, he never quite did. He did force out all the storms, but the storms were connecting. If you recall, the storms did connect, the storms did soften off the mutas, and it meant that they could never engage with the Archons. We had 5 Archons pushing across the map, an army that could never be touched, and Solar, he was late to the base trade. He eventually did decide he had to base trade, but he was already losing bases, he was already losing his third base, his natural as well, and back at home, herO has stacked defense, and herO, he was amassing an army that could also not be dealt with. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO, he does take a lead in the series. Now we're jumping to game 2. Let's go. Once again, when it comes into this mass muta style and mass muta play, it is quite heavily reliant on keeping your opponent at home and keeping them busy, right? Like it's so so that the Zerg player does the best job they can at making sure that herO never moves out, because as you saw, if the Protoss ever moves out, they win the game. Like they just roll you over, baby. So it's all about just buying time, you know, backstabbing as well, and just trying to buy as much time as possible to build up a ground army. But Solar, he could only delay for so long. And here we go. Here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss leading the series 1-0, representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player, the South Green Zerg representing Falcons. It is a Solar. Here we go. Yo, topping in the chat. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos, papias. We're getting into our second game of the series, and we'll see how Solar will adjust. Coming into Tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. It's a smaller map. Aggression is favored here. No short Solar goes mutas. No, muta play is crazy here on Tourmaline, but what we do expect is potentially a German taxi, Roach all in, or a Hydra based all in. All ins can work quite well here. And fun fact, we actually did see Solar defeat herO earlier this week in PvZ Cup on this map with an all-in. Solar, he went for a German taxi, he went for a Queen Roach all-in across the map, and herO was caught with his pants down. The pants were down. Technically, herO, he was denied the 4th base. He just could not defend his 4th base, it was broken, and eventually his 3rd as well. Again, the 4th expansions on this map, I mean, not even just the 4th base, but the 3rd base, the natural, just all these bases, all these locations are very open. You can see here they're very open, they're very vulnerable, they're very accessible, maybe that's a better way of putting it. So whenever someone goes for an all-in, they have so much room to work with here. There's no choke point, right? There's no choke point working against you. So splash damage, force field, storms are less effective just because of how open these entrances are into the natural and into the 3rd. And even here into towards the 4th base, and even here in the middle, like it's just a very open map, very open and very small. So we'll see how herO will adjust. We'll see how he'll approach. But now Stargate opener out of herO. With this is going to be opening up Oracle, or last game did open Void Ray, so we could see another Void Ray opener to hunt down the Overlord and to keep Solar in the dark. Eyes are on herO. As herO does shade across the map. Looking for some scouting information. So far, it's a little bit too early here to really determine what's going on. But we should be seeing Roaches by Solar. Should be seeing Roach play. And this time Oracle first, no Void Ray. Okay, herO does mix it up. This time hero's going for a much more standard opener. He's less concerned with denying vision and more concerned with dealing harassing damage and getting scouting information. Again, that's one of the reasons why Oracle openers are so common and so popular, is because they're, I mean, so versatile in how they can be used. They can use harass to scout, to apply to, or I should say, to provide utility when it comes to support, when it comes to the stasis traps. True high ground vision. True. Like, Airlow's going to be hunted down. Things they poke in. Poke in, they pull away. herO does go for the dive. Remember, 2 oracles, they can one-shot drones. No spore here at the 3rd. Drones are vulnerable. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3 drone kills, not bad. And behind this, we have our Forge and Twilight Council standard follow-up here. Because of the timing, as Queen gets caught out, no transfuse. Getting another drone, up to 4 drone kills. A very nice start for herO. A nice start. Meanwhile, that's going to be lair first. Let's say 440-ish lair timing. This time it is a lair before Evo Chamber. Remember, last game was Evo Chamber first into +1 melee, which was indicative of a more Ling heavy into a more tech heavy style, whether it was going to be Ling Hydra or Ling Muta. I mean, we found out it was going to be Mutas. This time, delayed Evo Chamber, delayed upgrades, earlier lair. This could be for an early Hydra den. There is a Hydra based all-in that Soul is very fond of, where it cuts workers at 3 base saturation. We'll see. No shot of goods Mutas again. No shot. As that's going to be dealt with. This time herO's going for a +1 and blink. I was going to say that this time the timings were a little more standard as opposed to last game where we had the earlier Forge. That's a lot of gases. 2 gases in the main, 2 gases at the natural, 2 gases at the 3rd. We're taking all the gases. And again, my money is still on Hydras, but we'll see. No, he's doing it again. Mutas. Okay. We're rushing into Muta play instead. Oh, at least they thought in. Yeah, the wall's not a wall. The wall was not a wall. 8 probes go down. This should not have happened. herO. As things got into the main as well. Again, there was no drop lords or anything like that. They just walked in. Ay. 9 probe kills. His economy is crippled. And Solar, he's slowly working towards those Mutas. Now, a couple of things here. Now, one of the reasons why I didn't expect to see Mutas is, one, because of the size of the map. Because the map is so small, it does mean that if herO goes for a push, if he goes for a counterattack, then Solar has less time to react and less time to try to delay. So that's one big factor here. But no charge this time. So because there's no charge, typically a charge-based opener coincides with Archons and with Storm. Going +1 and blink, though, does mean that you're going to be staying with the gateway composition that much longer. It means that Archon production is going to be much more delayed. Now, the Temple Archives now gets thrown down, but the Mutas, they're about to pop in. Like, the Spire's now done. The Mutas are coming. Now, herO, he has no idea. herO, he has not scouted, he has not confirmed. herO did see the early lair, but in his mind, it could be Mutas or it could be Hydras. As things they attempt to collapse in. So far, nice blink control. herO going for the 4th base. It looks like he'll bring down the 4th. He spots the Mutas. He sees. Yeah, now he sees, now he knows. Now he's aware, and herO, he has to race back home. And cannons are being thrown down. Phoenixes are on the way. This time it's a later scout, a later realization. And herO, he's out of position. Yeah, forced to recall. And Solar, he can pull this off. He can pull this off. He cannot fight head on though, Jesus. Solar, calm down. Yeah, Solar bleeding out 2 Mutas. Ooh, 3 Mutas go down. Brutal losses here for Solar. Solar still doubling down. Oh, switching into a Roach base composition. Roach production has begun. Looks like he's trying to get out of Mutas as he gets caught out once again, losing 2 more Mutas. Down to 8. 8 Mutas left. 5 have gone down so far. But then you can see the hard switch into Roaches. And this so far has not been worth it. It's not been worth it. On the one hand, yes, Solar, he's a little bit safer back at home. The counterattack is a little bit weaker here for herO. But these mutas, they didn't achieve any damage. And Storm is coming. I do get the Revelation. Revelation here does catch the Ravagers and now the Roaches as well. So herO is now aware. He's where the ground switch. Robo's on the way. Does need those Immortals. Yeah, we got the slow lot run by. I don't think herO realizes that he has not research charge. Yeah, this is not intentional. So we got the slow lots moving out. Mutas hit the right hand side, catching out some of the High Templar. Gets two. High Templar go down. Storm is denied. I mean, Storm finishes, but again, he has no Templar. Nice dive out of Solar. Fourth base is exposed. herO coming from behind with the slow lots. True, let's go. The slow lots are coming. Oh, that's a lot of Stalkers going down. Where are the blinks? Yeah, herO with a bit of miscontrol was a little bit inattentive, but hey, he still has enough. Oh my god. Who needs charge? Who needs it? The slow lots are coming. And herO, he shuts us down. herO, he shuts us down. Forces back the army. He saves the fourth base, more importantly. Saves the fourth expansion. Oh. As herO does find the mutas. Let's find them. Again, Solo trying to make this a ground army work, but again, his upgrades are lacking just because of the mutas. He's only +1 roaches. Oof. Storms are zoning away. Once again, Solar, he cannot fight head-on, not like this, but he's all in. At this point, he's all in. 71 drones, no additional upgrades. He has +1 melee on the way. Oof, and the storms are brutal. And the storms connect. Diving on top of the roaches. Solar, he just cannot engage. Remember, the soup is lying to you. Remember, the soup does lie. Roach Ravager is inflated supply, so herO has the more efficient army. Don't let the soup lie to you. Oh god. Nice knife. Gets a High Templar. Yo, charge is now done. He's got charge. It does have charges here. He does move forward, catching out more roaches. And Soul just bleeding out so much army here. And now we have 2 Immortals. 2 Immortals, 5 Archons. Here he's built up his Death Ball. Just bullying Solar. And again, Solar never intended for the game to last this long, right? Like that's why his army is struggling as much as it is. Solar was all in. Oof. Roaches, they get punished. That's a massive chunk of roaches going down. Storm of the roaches as well. Jesus. Lands the storm. And Solar, he's on his last legs here. So his last legs. So just rally whenever he can. This is what, round 3, round 4 for Solar. Meanwhile, herO is getting a fleet beacon, working towards the mothership, working towards Skytos, just getting further ahead. Does get a High Templar. Let's go. As herO, he's missing Zealots here. herO, he's banking up 1,000 minerals like that way. I was like, what's going on? As Zealots warp in, GG gets called, and herO, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. So GG. Whew. GG, well played here. He will extend his lead here. Again, it was a crazy and bold move for Solar to go into mutas this time again, especially on Tourmaline. So very, very bold move here from Solar. Unfortunately, he didn't really achieve any damage with them. It was unscattered. It was unscattered. The mutas were only seen as they were spawning in from their eggs. So there was potential for economic damage, but instead, do you remember what Solar did? He made his first wave of mutas and he went for a frontal assault. He went for a frontal assault on the main army, and he lost 5 mutas. He lost 5 mutas trying to break the Mass Blink Stalker. It was a little bit shocking. Like, I assumed that Solo would be going for harassing damage and trying to get into mineral lines because the stack defense wasn't ready, right? The cannons were not ready because of the late scout, but instead he tried to go for the main fight. He tried to break the main army, and that was not the call to make. Solo, he lost all of his mutas, he lost most of his lings, and he was forced to switch into Roach Ravager, where alas, he forced himself all in. As we mentioned, like, he had a very, very low amount of upgrades, so just +1. And again, he cut workers early at 71, just non-stop rich production. Unfortunately, over time, he was outscaled. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3. We're going to be loading into Winter Madness. Oh boy, the pressure is on. We'll see if Solar can fight back. We'll see if he can put a point on the board and make a series out of this. The pressure is on. Pressure is on, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1, leading the series 2-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. As we're getting into game 3, again, the pressure is on. Here is up 2-0, and here needs one more game, one more win to claim the series and to advance onto the grand finals. We'll see if Solar can begin the comeback. Now, I don't want to say that Spire play is necessarily the wrong move to go for. Like, Spire play is viable, mutas are viable. If you're looking at this series, you might be thinking like, yo, mutas are trash. They're like, no, they have their place. As I mentioned before, it was just a really bold move to go mutas on Tourmaline. Like, I feel like mutas are the weakest on some of these smaller maps, so it's just really, really risky to go for something like that on a smaller map like Tourmaline. In game 1, if you recall, they got scouted, right? The Spire was seen before it was done in game 1, and that's why herO was able to react so quickly and so hard to the mutas. And that's kind of what we rely upon here, is that if you're going into Spire play, if you're going into mutas, you are heavily reliant on lack of vision and lack of scouting from the Protoss player. Game 1, Solar was scouted early on. Game 2, it was a little bit more ideal for Solar. It was a later scout, but Solar still tried to go for a head-on engagement, and that kind of did go poorly for Solar, and everything just kind of snowballed out of control. Now, I don't want to see mutas 3 games in a row. I feel like that would be a crazy move here, and I don't know if Solar's really wanted to be that crazy. I feel like we're going to calm down, and hey, welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps of the map pool. It's one of the more defendable maps as well. Your 3rd base, your 4th base, there are a lot more defendable, they're a little more difficult to push into. The entrances here into the 3rd and into the 4th base are more narrow. Compare these entrances to Tourmaline. Tourmaline, these were what, twice the size? Like, we had a much larger entrance here, so these were much more accessible. Here on Winter Madness are a lot more narrow, easier to hold on to. Because of that, we have seen a lot of successful defensive play from Protoss players to be able to get their 3rd, their 4th base, build up, turtle up, and max out and get into Sky Toss. We've seen that quite a bit, and we've seen that be quite successful. I would have said that because of that, because it's easier to defend, it's going to be harder to get away with like Roach all-ins or Hydra all-ins, and Spire play is more accessible here. Spire play is more viable on Winter Madness. But Spire 3 games in a row, like, like, with the context of the greater series, like, I wouldn't want to see mutas. I wouldn't want to see Spire here, even though I would say this may be one of the best maps for it. Okay, we gotta calm down. The other option, because it's so difficult to break a turtling Protoss player here, I would suggest potentially even just macro play. Just go Ling Hydra into Lurker Tech into a longer and later game. I do know that late game is more favored towards Protoss when it comes to Sky Toss if they can get there, so a lot of Zerg players do try to avoid the late game if they can, but I mean, all-ins are not going to work out anywhere near as well on this map, so you're kind of forced into that potentially. We'll see. We'll see what Solar does. As so far, we have a Void Ray opener out of herO, just like game 1. Does go for the Void Ray with this herO. He's going to hunt down the Overlord. He's going to deny vision, and now herO can make a choice. Now, we just spoke about how turtling up and going into Sky Toss is favorite here, so we could see a Fleet Beacon. Could see a Beacon, we could see another Stargate, or we could just see standard play. Meanwhile, that's an early lair. That's a sub 4-minute lair timing. That was what, 3:45-ish? 3:45 lair timing, so very early lair. Because it's so early, there are a couple things going on in my mind, depending on how many gases are taken. We could go for like a Lin Queen Nidus all-in, but this feels a little bit late for a Lin Queen Nidus all-in. This could be 2-ace Muta. This could be just gases and more Muta play, or this could be fast Hydras. We'll see. But again, this is a very fast lair. Faster than any other game in the series. Even last game was at 4:40, if you remember. It was a 4:40 lair timing. Here it's a minute earlier. I don't see extra gases. I don't see extra gases here. Are we going for a Nidus? That's all the Lings. Lings are amassing. It's going to be a Lin Queen Nidus all in. Yeah, there we go. Nidus is on the way. So again, no extra gases. So early lair, no extra gases indicative of a Nidus all in. Nidus is on the way. And one way or the other, Solar, he wants to end the game. And this is one of the ways to bypass the defensive prowess of this map, right? It's like we spoke about how the entrances are really narrow and it's easier to defend. Well, what if you go straight into the main, right? What if you don't go right in? The problem, though, is that this Overlord, we are so heavily reliant on this Overlord. There's a Void Ray right next door. If the Void Ray can hunt down this Overlord, that will just end the game. For now, he's distracted. Yeah, here he's distracted. Nidus Storm is finishing. Here we go. Nidus Storm is on the way in the main. And here he has no idea. Here he has no idea. This Void Ray had one job to kill the Overlords. Fails to do so. Oracles, they poke in. herO, he's now getting cannons from the shield batteries. Nidus Storm will complete. And Solar, he gets in. He gets into the main base. Nothing to defend. The pants are down. And what does herO have? herO, he has one Void Ray. That's game. That's game. herO, the gateways are being depowered. Denies the gateways in the main base. Lings, they get into the mineral line. High Templar, they have nothing. There's no Storm. Too greedy. Yeah, too greedy here from herO. He failed to scout. He failed to deny. And with that, Solar, we have a series. We have a series of Solar. He will take over the natural. Sorry, he'll take over the main. He'll take over the main base. 25, 26 probes going down. We have a series, Pappy. It's not going to be a 3-0. Let's go. Yeah, it's not going to be 3-0 as the main base is forfeits. All the buildings will crumble. Spine Crawlers are denying mining at the third. So herO is stuck on a one base economy. He's stuck on one base. GG gets called. There's nothing left here to defend, and Solar, he will fight back. He'll put a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he does put a point on the board here. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Again, herO, he failed to scout the Nidus. He failed to recognize lack of gases, and he failed to recognize the early lair as well. Not just that, but even without any kind of scouting information, herO did open Void Ray, and that Void Ray had one job: to hunt down the Overlords and to deny vision. Missed the Overlord. He missed the Overlord. Again, even herO not scouting and not realizing what was going on, there was a chance that the Void Ray happens to come across the Overlord anyway, just in nice scouting, and if that happened, that could have been game. Like, if that Overlord was killed, if there was no Nidus, then Solar, he might have still, of course, tried to all in, but it would have been that much weaker, would have been that much less effective. In the end, though, the Overlord got in. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And now we're getting into Game 4. White Rabbit. Here we go. Solar, he has a little bit of momentum. Can he go all the way to the ace match? Can he go the distance? As spawning in the right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the blue Protoss player. Blue Protoss, we have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. Still leading the series 2-1, one game away from claiming the series. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Team Falcons. Fighting back, putting a point on the board, and one game away from claiming, or one game away from forcing the ace match. It is a Solar. Whew. Here we go. If nobody expects mutas, isn't that the best strat? I mean, no one expects mutas for a reason, though. Ah. It's all good. But here we go. We're getting into White Rabbit. So this is another one of these larger maps. The larger map, likewise, is a little bit more accessible. Does have an open, or I would say that the bases are a little more spread out. It is difficult to turtle up and to defend on your 5-base setup, at least somewhat. We have seen some successful 4-base setups here, but we do have some options when it comes to aggression. We'll see how Solo does approach this. Once again, I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed to Solo going into mutas here on White Rabbits, if only we didn't already go mutas twice in this series. That's the thing, right? But because of the greater context, because we've already attempted mutas so much, I feel like it's ill-advised to go into muta play, and we should be seeing something different. I did like the Nidus all-in on Winter Madness because of how defendable that map is. So trying to break a 3 and 4 basing Protoss player is so difficult on Winter Madness. Here on White Rabbit, it's not as extreme. I will say that here, 3-4 base play is more viable for Zori players. So we'll see what Solo goes for. I don't think there's as much pressure to go for an early 2-base all-in for Solo this time. As for now, we should be seeing our tech of choice, should be seeing the Stargate open out of herO. Now here he has been mixing up his initial units, whether it's Oracle or Void Ray. We've seen twice Void Ray, we've seen once Oracle. So we'll see what he goes for this time. Show us what you got. Otherwise, we do have Solar just getting to his own 3rd base, droning, saturating. Remember, last game was a 3:45 layer timing. No shot we see a layer that early here in game 4. No shot. But we'll see if he does go layer first, Evo Chamber, Roach Warren. We'll keep an eye on that tech. As we have the unit of choice, it's going to be an Oracle first. Oracle out of herO, not Void Ray. But that does mean that here he'll have more scouting information, have more vision, more scouting. Or at least he should if he doesn't lose the Oracle. As we're nearing that 340 mark. Overlord is hunted down. 3rd base being taken. Solo is here to shut down the probe. Oh! It does pick in. And does bait out the NG overcharge. Sorry, the pulsar beam. Baits out the pulsar beam, so not a bad move there by Solar. Pokes in, pulls away. Ooh, that is a very early Twilight Council. Okay, herO. The 3rd base just got thrown down, so there's a high chance Glaive Adepts. Very high chance here for Glaives. The extra gateways are going to be on the way. We're expecting 4-gate Glaives out of herO. Hyper aggression. The Nexus timing makes it look like a standard build, but we can see it's anything but. And remember, the Overlord got sniped. The Overlord went down, which means no scouting. Yeah, there's no scout into the main base. Solar, he is blind, he's in the dark. Oracles are keeping him busy. Again, the Twilight Council is finishing, the gateways are amassing. It's going to be a 4:30 layer timing, a Roach Warren's on the way, no Evo Chamber. Oh, and I assumed it was going to be Glaives. My apologies. It is going to be Charge instead, but that's a lot of gateways. Jeez. He's building up to 7. 7 gateways, and looks like he wants more. The probe is still in position. We're going for an 8-gate 3-base all-in, and mass charge instead. Ay. Now, thankfully, Solar does have some roaches. If Solar was going Ling Hydra, he just died. Like, Ling Hydra just crumbles before before Zealot all-in. Roaches does give Solar a chance if he makes roaches. As Zealots are amassing, and here he will soon pull the trigger. He just has to build up that Zealot count. It is going to hit quite hard. It's also crucial that he keeps the Zealots further back. Like further back in the main. So a lot of lanes are getting picked up here. Roach speed is on the way. So he hasn't seen anything damning yet. 4 depths is standard. And he's making a handful of roaches, thankfully. But here comes the all-in. Here come the charge lots. And Solar, he sees nothing yet. Yeah, so far he is making some roaches, thankfully. He's making some lings. He's going for his own all-in. Okay. Let's go. Solar, he gets up to 3-way saturation. We have Overlord speed on the way. Solar is going for a German taxi, so all-in versus all-in. The Zealots say knock down the 4th base, but the 4th does not matter. It's going to be a cancel. And I believe Solar holds. And Solar, he's not just going to defend. Solar can counterattack. Remember, Solar, he's already going into Overlord speed. He's getting ready for his Dropper Lords. Things are looking good for Solar. He's got plenty of roaches. I say that Zealots, they do break through a handful of roaches here. 1, 2, 3 roaches going down. But yeah, no. There's not enough Zealots. Does catch a Ravager. And Solar, he defends. Oh, bleeding out a couple of drones. Now, losing these drones and losing the 4th base does mean that the all-in is going to be weaker for Solar. It's going to be a weaker all-in. But charge lots, they are not ideal when it comes to defending against all-ins. I say they're not ideal, they're awful. They're awful for that. We do need as many Blink Stalkers as possible. Double Forge? Oh god. I don't think herO realizes how much danger he's in. Now he sees all the roaches. The robo was delayed. That's a robo after the double forge. Yeah, herO, he might just be too greedy here. Might just be too greedy. The all-in is coming. herO, he counterattacks, but Solo should not turn around. He should not turn around. herO, sorry, now more batteries. More batteries are on the way. Solo, he commits in. Blink is now done. Nice blinks. Oh, yeah. herO, he was a little bit too trigger happy with the blinks. He's blink way too much. Decent concave. Stasis trap goes off. Okay. Nice stasis. Where are the reinforcements? Ooh, the rally has been disrupted. Solar, he needs more of his army. He needs more roaches here. Every queen is going to go down. Roaches, they get punished. And Solar, the all-in's failing. The all-in is failing. Solar, the rally here was disrupted because of the Zealot run by. He had no reinforcements. And the longer this game goes on, the worse it is for Solar. Remember, herO, he went double forge. He's getting double upgrades at the same time. Remember, Solar, he has no Eva chamber. Why does he have no chamber? He's all in. Like he does not plan for the game to go on any longer. Solar, he's not built for a longer game. Here we go, Solar gearing up for round 2. Again, that Zealot run by achieved so much when it came to not just denying mining, but also disrupting the production. Disrupting the reinforcements. Couple of free shots. Gets 1, 2, 3 roaches. 3 roaches go down, lings, they do flood in. Oh, no, they do not. herO, he's on top of the wall. Yes, the herO does warp in time. Zealots, they force the entire army back home. Yeah, Solar, he F2's back home. Ay, ay, ay. Once again, the Zealots, they buy a lot of time. Lings, they do slip in, but there's plenty of farm to work with here. And here he cleans this up. Here he cleans this up. Here he lost his robo. It was cancelled earlier, or at least denied, so still no immortal production. It's such a late robo. So without immortals, there's still a chance that Solar pulls this off. There is a chance. It's slim, but it's there. Oof. As here, he just dies in the Ravagers. Yeah, no fear. He just blinks in. Vials, they do connect with the Zealots. We get some decent vials. But Solar, he's running out of steam. He's running out of army. Once again, here he's crazy. He blinks on top of the army. Dives to the Ravagers. Here gets punished. Okay. Here punished for the dive. Blinks away to the 4th base. At the same time, Lings, they do flood into the mineral line. Once again, here is out of position. The wall was not a wall. The wall was open. Solar, can he do this? He might just be able to. Yeah, he might just be able to hear lack of wall, lack of immortals. Solar, he's just mass rallying across the map. Oof. This is also brutal. As here, he barely holds on. He's got his upgrades. He's now slowly building up his immortal count. It's still very clutch, but now he's up to 2 immortals. And the higher the immortal count, the less effective the roaches are going to be. But that's why this has been going so well for Solar, is because of the delay on immortal production. It's a big delay. But now there's 2, soon to be 3. Solar pushing in. Solar run by the right hand side. Ling run by as well. They do slip in. Why do we have immortals to defend the natural? What's going on? We need the immortals against the roaches, but they're defending against Lings. Pappy, we need the immortals. Gets a mineral line. 7 probes go down. Yeah, the army's all over the place here for herO. The 4th base goes down. But he does punish those roaches. Does punish at the same time. Zealots, they do get across the map. But nice reactions out of Solar. He pulls away. Saves his workers. There we go. The Immortals, they finally do come to the front lines. The army's coming together. And this game has lasted too long. It's just lasted too long at this point. herO now working on Storm, now working on +2, now getting a 4th immortal. Sorry, a 5th immortal. Oh my god. Getting up to 5, back. The death ball is amassing. Solar, he scouts the main army. You can see he's splitting up his army for a counterattack, for a multi-pronged aggression. For a second push. Does get himself with the Stalkers though. Nice catch. Stalkers getting caught out. herO, he does respond. Double exposed. Oh, herO once again having a hard time splitting up his army, but nice storms. And Solar, he's diving on the High Templar, getting an immortal. Immortal goes down. A bit of a messy defense here by herO, but he's holding. Yeah, he's holding on. Once again, diving on the Ravagers. He keeps blinking forward. He's crazy. herO's lost so many Stalkers with those blinks. He's lost his mind. Calm down, herO. Calm down. We've had some patience quality blinks out of herO this game. I appreciate it. I miss my patience. I miss him. He sees an army twice his size and he blinks forward. Ah, let's go. As now once again the army does collapse in. The Mass Ravager here just cannot, it just doesn't scale. Just doesn't scale against this army. Over time it's just been getting worse and worse for Solar. Once again, another Ling run by. These Ling run bys, they have 7 probes. Solar, he does find some damage. The lack of wall is hurting herO. But it's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough. GG gets called, and herO, he will claim the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played herO. He does claim the series. Again, Solar, he was all in, and initially I do think there was potential. Winding it back, how did this game begin? Initially, herO was going all in. Remember, herO, he went for a very, very, very early Twilight Council into early charge, into an 8-gate setup on 3 bases, 8-gate charge all in out of herO, and the Zealots got shut down. Like, Solar had the advantage. Solar, he was ahead. Solar, he shut down the Zealots, he shut down the charge, he shut down the all-in, and he went into his own all-in, his own German taxi. The problem though, if you recall, was when he was pushing out across the map, there was a Zealot run by, and it did actually deal economic damage. It was denying mining at the third base. More importantly, the reinforcements of Solar, what should be a rally across the map, was stuck at home defending. So Solar, his army just wasn't being reinforced, it wasn't getting any larger, and he got shut down. I was a little bit shocked. I was very impressed that herO, he was able to shut down the first push, shut down the first all-in, and from there it was kind of game. It was a really shaky defense out of herO, I will say, just because he did go double forge. Like, it was crazy going double forge and delaying his robo as long as he did, so that kind of gave Solar an opportunity, but again, he just barely didn't have enough. His reinforcements were delayed. The Zealot Rambais were doing a lot when it came to just delaying the push and delaying Solar. If you remember, after that moment, herO went for another Zealot Rambai, and then Solar F2'd back home. Remember, Solar, he had to F2 back home because of those Zealots. They were just doing so much across the map. They gave herO the time he needed to build up his army. And as we mentioned, Solar, as the game progressed, his army became worse and worse over time. Because he had no upgrades, he was stuck on pure Roach Ravager, and Roach Ravager does not scale well into a longer game against Storm, Archons, Immortals, against, you know, a greater Protoss army. GG, well played. And with that, herO, he does claim the series, he does advance on to the grand finals, and the question becomes, who will be playing against him? Let's go. Let us go. Let's catch up on the bracket itself. Un momento. As we catch up in the bracket. But thankfully we had a series, you know, thankfully Solar, he was able to pose a threat and take a game. That was the game where he went for the Nidus all in, if you recall, but only a single game. As herO takes down Solar 3-1 to make it to the grand finals, and herO, he is now waiting for the winner of the next series for either Trigger or Maru, a Protoss or a Terran opponent. Here we go. Once again, coming into this is going to be an interesting one. Initially, I would say that Clem was heavily favored to make it through into the finals to face off against herO from the beginning of these playoffs. But, I mean, as you can see here, Clem went down early in the tournament. He went early in the bracket to Trigger. And if Trigger can beat Clem, he can beat Maru. Like, Clem and Maru, they're quite close in skill when it comes to their TVP prowess. They're very different. I will say that Maru is more aggressive. He's more aggressive, he's more all-in, he's more in your face. In this matchup, true. So there is going to be a change of pace. We'll get into it. But Trigger, he's already achieved so much. Like, even going down here in the semifinals, like, no shame in that. Like, Trigger, I feel like he's already exceeded expectations. Can he exceed even more? Can he go even further? I'm ready for it. man. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Hackers Top in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. I haven't seen you stream in quite some time, so I hope you had a good time. Bienvenidos, as we are here in the semifinals of the Rongyi Cup Season 3 playoffs. We have one series left here tonight, the lower semis. If you're curious, the grand finals will be taking place tomorrow. The grand finals will be live tomorrow instead. So just catching up in the chat. Great reaction. Yeah, I remember that was in reference to a Ling Rambai being attempted and herO just warping it immediately. It's crazy. But for now, we're going to be cutting to a break. We're going to be going on a short break here. When we come back, we'll have the second half of the broadcast. We'll have Trigger and Maru ready for you. So we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after this very short break.